Okay. I think we're live now. Let's get rid of everything. Good. Happy Sunday. Hi, Kathleen Brandt. How are you, girl? Bring that a little closer so I can see chat. Hi, Paula. I'm just working on my Star Garden quilt. I gave up on that rug. It was just way too big and way too heavy for my machine, so I don't want to wreck my machine that I just got fixed. So I figured I'll work on this, get this project done, finish my pineapple quilt, and then maybe I can get them all quilted. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Michelle. Oh my gosh, long time no see. How are you, Michelle? Remember I made these little tiny half square triangles for this quilt, but they all need to be squared up. These 3-inch triangles are just really uneven, and if you don't use the triangle paper, this is what you have to do. And the triangle paper did not work for me, so because I did not have big enough pieces of fabric. To fit the triangles on it, the paper, triangle paper on it. Oh, that's great, Michelle. Are you still doing beading? I'm actually loving the colors of this quilt. Honest to God, the green and the purple just, oh, this is going to be a stunning piece when it's all done. Once I get all this little piddly stuff out of the way, all these little squaring up stuff, I have all these corners to snowball, and I have to make flying geese yet. So lots of triangles. Lots of squaring up. So this looks like fun. Patsy is awake. Ooh. Oh, that's great, Michelle. Which one did you make? Kathleen, how much would it cost to make a queen-sized quilt? That's a really good question. However, it all depends on what pattern you want to make, how many fabrics you want to incorporate in those patterns. And if you buy kits, you're looking at just for the top. You don't get the backing with the kits. You never get any of the backings. You have to purchase the backings separately. So they usually have a backing set aside if you purchase a kit. And it's usually anywhere from $50 to $60 because that takes 5. Oh, with a queen, you're looking at about 6 to 7 yards, maybe. Oh, you made my Chantilly lace in purple. Of course. I made that in purple, too. Yeah, Kathleen, you're looking at, I don't know. This one here that I'm making. Here, let me find out what the size of this finished quilt is. See. Huh. Why am I not seeing what it would be? Oh, should be 50.5 by 70.5. And that's without borders. Kind of don't like it without borders. You know me. Oh, yes, it does have borders. It says pressing all quilt should measure 50.5 by 70.5. Okay, so it gets bigger, but it doesn't give you the finished measurement here. So this is a twin size, and I have to stick with twin sized because I can't fit a queen sized quilt on my quilt frame because I've only have it adjusted to 7 feet. So 7 feet wide is about 84 inches. So most of my quilts can't be any wider than 84 inches. And to be honest, it's got to be at least 6 inches smaller than that. So you're looking at about 78 inches wide for it to fit, because you got to leave at least 3 inches on each side for the backing and the batting so it sticks out. So I think it all depends, though. It really all depends on what pattern you want to do. You can get your own fabric. It's probably a lot cheaper than buying a kit. However, a kit comes with everything for your top, including your binding, your borders, your contrast fabric, your background fabric. If you see a pattern you like, you could probably buy it in queen. Then all you have to do is sew it all together, cut it all up, sew it all together. Oh, you're welcome, Kathleen. So lots of people make quilts and ship them off, like to a quilting company to have them quilted. I don't want to pay that money, so that's why I quilt my own. I realize they're not super fancy quilting patterns that I do, but I do what I can to save a lot of money and quilt it on my long arm frame using my Juki machine. It does a good job. Really does. Works really great. But if you don't have that ability, that luxury to have a quilting frame, send your quilt off. Just send your backing with it, and then they'll back it, and they'll even bind it for you. What would be a good beginner pattern for quilting? This one right here. This one is a beginner-friendly pattern right here. Looks hard, but it's not. And it says right on it, beginner. Beginner friendly. Called Star Garden by Shabby Fabrics. And I got this at a discount because this was on sale. And it might still be on sale. It's called Star Garden at Shabby Fabrics. And this is a beginner-friendly quilt. And that's the kind you want to start on. Something that's beginner-friendly, that doesn't say intermediate. If it says intermediate, then you don't want to tackle something like that if it's your first quilt. You want to get down pat this kind of stuff. Like right now, making these are super easy to do. Really, really beginner-friendly. And I'm also going to be teaching, I'm doing a quilt-along in a couple weeks where I'll be doing 4 blocks a week from a vintage book called The Farmer's Wife Sampler Quilt. We'll be doing blocks out of that. And I'm going to make it beginner-friendly as well, because I'm going to do the simplest blocks. That way you learn techniques, you learn this kind of stuff. And then you could put them all together into a big quilt and make a beautiful vintage looking quilt. And I can't wait to get that done. I know there's a lot of simple blocks in there. A lot. And repeat blocks. But they're done with different fabrics. So I hate this part though, this squaring up these triangles. I can't stand this part. This part drives me crazy. It's boring. But if you want a nice squared quilt, and if you want it to go on a quilting machine, a quilting frame, you want them squared up. You don't want to have wonky, blocks. Good morning, Mary. Oh, Michelle, that's awesome. Good morning, BJ. Oh, good for you, Michelle. Oh my gosh, you're going to love sewing. I'm telling you, you're going to get hooked. When you start doing stuff like this, you find out, and you can ask many of the sewers that are in this chat, that when you start sewing, it's kind of like beading. It's very relaxing. It's just, I don't know, you get mesmerized when you start sewing and you just start going, making square after square after square after square. But if you want something elegant and simple to make, I highly recommend this quilt pattern. This here. Because being that it's beginner friendly, this is what the quilt will look like when I'm all finished it. And it looks like it's really hard and intricate, but it's really not. So, this is the whole finished quilt. It's just so damn beautiful. And it's called Star Garden. See, Mary even told you it's like an obsession. It is. You'll get obsessed. You'll just be wanting to keep going on and on and on. Now, I'm going to mention, too, that you guys know I get bored. It's not even a joke. Because I've done this so many times. This here, to me, it's because it's so simple to do, is square up these little triangles. I get so bored with doing this. But you can skip this step. You can totally skip this step. Totally skip it. But if your blocks aren't square, I'm going to give you fair warning. You're going to have a wonky quilt. And if your blocks are wonky, they're not going to fit together nicely. And that's what's going to make your quilt look really wonky. When you put it up on a quilt frame, quilt machine to quilt it, the quilter's not going to want to do it because it's so out of whack. Because it's really hard to roll up a wonky quilt. So it's best to do this. Kind of take this step and do it. Mind you, if I could, I would skip this real quickly. Believe me. Good morning, Deborah. Oh, you just woke up? I took another sleeping pill last night, so. And I slept right till 8:30. What, you make it? My star quilt. Quilt? Yeah. What do you mean? You haven't seen this? You saw it. You haven't seen this quilt. Oh, thank you. Wow. Pretty, eh? Yeah. And it's beginner friendly. And I have one of my beaders in here. Her name is Michelle and Adamchuk, and she got a sewing machine, and now she's excited to get started. So I told her to start something like this. Go buy a quilt kit, Michelle. Go buy a quilt kit, follow their instructions, put the whole thing together, and watch how hooked you're going to be. Not even joking. Before you know it, you know how you have a bead stash? We all have bead stashes. You're going to have a fabric stash. I kid you not. And it's going to be like the kind of fabrics that you buy and you're like, I don't want to cut this up. I'll just leave it for now. And then it doesn't get used because you don't want to cut up your pretty fabrics.
That would have been this with me.
Yep.
This one.
That's the one I cut up.
I know. I wouldn't know.
Oh, well.
And my birds.
It's on my backing here too. I ordered the backing to this kit because it gives you exact amount. This is my backing for it. It gives you the exact amount of fabric that you need to complete your whole quilt.
You got the backing separate?
Yeah, you have to pay for the backing separately. But they give you the backing that matches the quilt.
How much is the backing?
I don't remember how much that was. It was probably $52 or something for 5.5 yards.
And that's it?
Yeah, but that's a lot of fabric there for your back.
Yeah, I thought you were making your plastic bag.
I didn't feel like it. I just want to get, I don't like having a whole bunch of projects on the go, so I want to get some of these quilts done. Like my boring pineapple one. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I think I'm going to purchase this pattern from Star Garden. I can see this becoming a new obsession. It's going to cost a fortune to buy all the fabric I'm going to need. Right. But I'm telling you, Michelle, if you go to Shabby Fabrics, SHABBY fabrics.com, type in their search bar Star Garden, and this pattern will come up. And I can't remember if it's still, hang on, let me go look. Because it might still be on sale. You will get all this fabric here. Everything. Everything here came in this kit. I just have to cut it up and sew it. So let me just go check for you. And if it's still on sale, I'll post a link. Let me just go to Shabby Fabrics real quick here. I gotta... All right. And if you go to their on sale page, okay, I'm just going to go, I'm not going to look through all these pages. Where's their search bar? Right there. Star Garden. That's what I'm going to put in there. Only one left. No, that's sample quilt. No, that's, oh my God, this quilt here, they're selling it already made for $695. Already made. The kit is on sale for $94.50, and you can still buy it. So let me link the kit. Hopefully. Oh, you dirty pygmy. Why did it do that? Enter. That's the kit there. Good morning, Sharon. You're not interrupting me at all. No. That was a mistake, Michelle. They only have one of the pre-made quilt. So they made it, put it all together, binded it, and quilted it, and they're selling it for $695. But their kit that you see right here, this is $94. For everything here, except for the backing. I'm going to go see if they still have backing for you. And the backing is $44.80. You get 5 yards of fabric. That is a good deal. So let me just go back and I'll link you the backing for it. Well, I can't link you the backing, so when you click on that link I gave you down below, it get right, like, click on it, Scroll down a little bit where it says options, add backing 5 yards, 44. You have to put a little check mark in there and add the backing. So for $150, you're getting the whole entire quilt and the backing. And they're selling their finished quilt for $695. So does that tell you how much this is worth when you complete it? That is gorgeous. So there you go. You just click on add backing 5 yards, $44.80. You can add a rotary cutter, magnetic pin caddy, patchwork pins. You can add everything in there. But yeah. Oh, that's sweet, Kathleen. Sweet. Do you like purple, Michelle? Yeah, it sure does beat 600. Well, that's it. You finish your quilt. You're not going to want to give it away. You're not going to want to sell it. Because to me, my quilts are priceless. That's the way I look at it. Because everything is all hand done on mine. I made them. I quilted them. I binded them. I did everything. But it's just an example of a finished quilt. So like from Shabby Fabrics, they sell their finished quilts for $695. And there are people that would probably buy it. Oh yeah, this purple and green, that the green comes with it. Look at how stunning those colors are together. That comes with it. You get everything with this kit. You will get everything I got, and you got a little bit of leftovers. This part's boring, but again, it's a step you can't skip. You just don't want to skip it. You can see my little pile of trimmings here that I'm actually taking stuff off of these ends. So it's not really a whole waste of time, because that's how uneven my points are. So when I open this up, this should be a nice, perfect 3x3 rectangle or square, half square triangle. So that's what that's called, half square triangle. Dog ears are gone, all the threads are gone. It just makes it so much better when you square it up. A lot of people skip this step, and I'm telling you, you're going to regret it if you do. Now the instructions here doesn't tell you to square them up. At least I don't think they do. Let me see. They show you how to make the half square triangles. Open and press seam toward the darker. So no, they do not tell you to square them up. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful gift. You always got to make sure you put, which I haven't done. But again, I haven't put my binding on yet, but I am going to put my name and everything on my quilts.
In the year.
In the year, yes. You're supposed to put your name, your year.
The date.
Not the date, just the year.
Then it comes antique.
Yeah. You put your name, where you live. So, you know, date completed. You're supposed to put the year. So you would write 2020. and you sew that in before you put your binding in. And I downloaded a bunch of templates for quilts, so I could bring that template in and into my Adobe, and I could write my name, the year I completed the quilt, the name of the quilt. You're supposed to put the name of the quilt, the designer of the quilt, who designed the pattern, and the year. So I am going to be doing that. And then you sew it in the bottom back of your quilt into where the binding, before you put the binding on, you sew your little label in there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some printed fabric, or printer fabric, so I could print on it. Because you can buy cotton fabric that can go right through your printer, and you could print on it. So I could print a whole bunch of labels off and then sew them to the backs of my quilts. I don't have an embroidery machine, so I don't have, although I do have a friend that could do it, but I'd rather do it. See, like the Lord of the Rings quilt that I made, I designed that by myself. I didn't use a designer. I didn't use a pattern. Hi, Kathy. I just made that by myself. So that the designer would be me. All those colors are my favorite colors, Ruby. All the shades of green and purples. I just love those colors. Aren't they beautiful, Kathleen? I just think they're, I don't know, they're like in your face kind of thing. They're so pretty, the colors. Love them. Yeah, this is going to be really beautiful. I mean, the colors look way different than what you see in the monitor. They're so, I don't know, the colors don't show your true colors in monitors. Not even in the pictures. Oh, frayed edge. But yeah, I'm going to make some tags and I'm going to sign my quilts. Even though I'm not the designer of some of these quilts, I still am the one that made it and quilted it. So Michelle, yes, I do. I have pictures in my group of all the quilts I made for Christmas. I made 9 quilts for Christmas from all my kids and my grandkids and their hubbies, their spouses. I made them all, each their own quilt. And the men's quilts I made with all the same pattern, but they were full-size, twin-size quilts to, you know, to sit on the couch and cover up their whole body with it. Yeah, I made a lot of quilts. I was really pressing for time at Christmas time because I had 5 quilts to, that was the last thing I had to do. And it was the day before Christmas Eve. So it was the 23rd of December. I'm binding 5 quilts and I had to get them wrapped, labeled. Oops, I forgot to cut off the dog ears. Yeah. Yeah, but do you have an embroidery machine, Mary, or are you just going to embroider it by hand? I was at the beginning of the video. I wondered why I was lost. Welcome back to the earth, Kathy.
Want these buttons?
Yes? Where'd you get those?
Off a sweater at home.
Yes, I'm starting to collect buttons because I could put them on my pillows.
Oh, I think
I need buttons. I'm going to buy some. You can buy a big jar of them, but the ones online, they're like little old shirt buttons and they're useless.
Oh, God, yeah.
I want real buttons. Pretty ones.
Oh, my wrist. I don't know how you work with that.
Oh, our pile's going down. Hey, I'm so excited. Not my favorite thing to do. Tracy, it's called Clearly Perfect Slotted Trimmer. You get 2 for... Oh, I'm sorry, Tracy. Yes, you get 2 of these. And apparently the girls found these online the other day. You get 2 of them. So this one is the half sizes. So 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. And this one is the full. 2, 3, 4, 5 inch, 6 inch. These you can find at Missouri Star Quilt Company. But I think the girls found these on Amazon. And they're called Clearly Perfect Slotted Trimmers. And you get A and B with each one. I'm using B trimmer right now because I'm working with 3-inch squares. So my triangles are 3 inches when they're supposed to be finished. So you want to work with this. So yeah, these are, I forget how much they said they were, but you've got to put something on the backs of these because these are slippery. I put True Grips on them because they slide around. So I put True Grips pieces here, 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 and here because this is the 3-inch part and that's the part that was sliding on me. So they're like little tiny grips and you can just brush them off. Take all the fabric fibers off of it and they become very sticky again. So yeah, I'm sorry, Trace. You've been a busy girl and I bet your family loved the quilts. Handmade items are always so much better than store-bought. I love the idea of putting all the info on the label for future reference. Yes, because when I'm dead and gone, in years to come, my quilt might end up in a secondhand store. You know, I don't know that, but it could end up in a secondhand store, and that quilt will be, well, the ones I did at Christmas time, I had the labels printed by someone who had an embroidery machine. A Brother Disney embroidery machine I've had for years. Oh my gosh. Hi, Ciara. I love all the quilting videos you've been putting up. I hope to make one day. I was wondering, have you ever done crazy patchwork? Yes. Yes. And that is fun to do. And I'm building my scrap stash right now because I want to make a crazy quilt. And hi, Debbie Baker. Welcome, hon. And if I get a really large scrap bins, like I have a lot of fabrics mixed in them now, but I need more because that's not enough to make a scrappy quilt. I mean, the scraps I have. And then I want to show you guys how to make a scrappy quilt. How you could take all your pieces and join them and make one big, huge piece of fabric that you can make right into a quilt. Yeah, and I have done that in the past. Actually, these rag quilts my sister's making, those are called crazy quilts too. And I don't know why they named them crazy quilts. But they're like raggy. When they're all finished, they look raggedy. They're so pretty. And I really hope you get to make one day too. Yes. Oh, Debbie, I've been good. Hi, Suzanne. They are on Amazon for $33. Who's ever interested in those? I think it was Tracy. Tracy, these rulers are on your Amazon in the States because that's where Kathy lives. So she would have looked on Amazon.com. Good morning, Suzanne. And I am good, Debbie. Thanks for asking. I'm good, good, good. How are you, sweetheart? It's been a long time. And I'm just loving seeing my beaters here. They're probably going to hate me, but I love seeing all my beaters in this group. It's lovely. I just finished over 8 rag quilts. Now I'm making lavender rice heat bags. Oh, I know what you're making. They're called wormies. Wormies that you can heat in the microwave, and they have a lavender scent to them. That is just freaking awesome. Good for you, Debbie.
Bean bags. Yeah.
Attention, clearly perfect slotted trimmers by New Leaf Stitches quilting tool for fabric cutting. This is the triangle ruler on Amazon, $39.99. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy, do you feel up to joining me in Facebook? Or you just want to stay and chat? It's probably a lot easier to come in here and talk than it is to...
Karen not on there?
No, Karen's at church.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was Sunday. Karen's at church. So I kind of knew a lot of my beaders that were in here, they don't just bead. I know that they like to do other crafts too. Everyone likes to switch back and forth. What did she say? They heat up, work feels so much better. Oh, I know they do. I have a lavender farm up the way from me. You are so lucky. I made a mistake. Miku is great, Michelle. He was just on my show the other day. Wormies, go look it up on Google. Wormies are something that you can buy them, and they look like a teddy bear of some kind, but they're full of something anyway. And they have a lavender scent to them, and you can put them in the microwave and warm them up, and then you could use them for cold or hot. You can put them in the fridge, you can put them in the microwave, and you can put them on your back, where you need to have a heating pad. Suzanne, you're a beater too. Oh my gosh, I got another beater in here. I didn't even know you were a beater, Suzanne. I thought you were just a quilter. Awesome. I'm a beater. And you do other crafts because I'm saving you all my scraps for ephemera, right? They are good for muscle sores. See? Okay, I'm going to call Kathy. Patsy, what are you doing just sitting there looking at four walls?
There is no walls.
She's staring at the full walls.
I don't see any walls. Just trying to make my hand.
Shoot. I feel like my eyes won't open up.
I'm not letting you 50 out. If I ever let anything.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Miss Kathy.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Oh, let me get that gum out of my mouth. Oh, goodness.
Hi, Om.
So you see your...
Welcome. Oh, that's great, Debbie. You sell them. There you go, Tracy. And now you're learning paper crafting. Way to go, Suzanne. Oops. Well, this will be a blessing when I get all these done. Pile's going down very nicely, and it could keep going down.
This one's pretty. Those purples and stuff, and the greens.
Yes.
Oh, so pretty.
Yeah, they sure picked some pretty fabrics to go in this line.
Good morning, everyone. I don't know if I said good morning or not.
I think you did. Oops.
I'm full of meds, so if I act goofy, ignore me.
Oh, hey. You gotta feel better.
Get this insurance approval so I can get my next treatment. That I'll be good for a while.
Oh,
mercy.
great.
Yes.
You gotta get it approved by insurance first.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks.
I know. And even if it doesn't last the full 6 months, you have to wait the 6 months before they can submit it. So then you're off what? Pushes it out probably another month time insurance does its thing. So I think that's crazy, but you know, there ain't nothing you can do about it. You're under their mercy as far as insurance.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's for like medical insurance that you have?
Yes.
Do you have to pay for that or is it free?
No, we paid for it. We did it through my husband's job, work.
Yeah.
So they've submitted it. I'm just waiting.
How long does it usually take to get a response?
It just depends on the insurance company.
Yeah.
You know?
We all know what they're like.
Yeah, I worked for one for 18 years, so I know too well how it goes.
Yeah.
But I usually wait. I'll wait a week or so, or maybe a week, and then I'll just email and say, have you heard anything? And get them moving on it, because they'll call and see. And they try to keep up pretty good with them, the nurses or whatever. When you know you're waiting for something like that,
yeah,
they try to keep up with them pretty good, because they know you're waiting to get it.
So once you get an approval, you can go get it done.
Then they'll schedule me for
a cortisone shot?
No, this one I'm waiting for. It's called something ablation, where they kill off the nerve.
Right.
And then it takes it about 6 months to regenerate. So I go in, they sedate me, and I'm usually out within an hour. It's very quick.
Oh.
But they say they're very painful if you don't get sedation, so I always get sedation. I don't know if anybody goes in and gets them without any kind of sedation, because they say they're painful.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I'll take the IV.
Yeah.
I've had enough of those and needles in my life. I'm not afraid.
No.
Debbie says, can you do this step without the ruler you're using?
Yes. Yes, you can. You could just skip it. But make sure you do nice, perfect straight lines, and every one of your half square triangles are clearly 3 by 3. This here is just giving me that little extra step. This is not part of the pattern. Ruby, can you do this step without the ruler? But yeah, you can, Debbie. You can skip this step altogether. This just helps square all of them up to 3 by 3 because I know my sewing lines. I'm looking at them and they're not the straightest. So I want to cut this to match my sewing lines because they're not very straight. I'm a speed demon when I sew. So, but if you be careful, you could get your half square triangles to be like that if you sewed straight lines. But I don't sew straight lines.
Me neither.
I'm looking at them when I line them up on this ruler because you have to line up your sewing line with that dotted line. And some of them go down a bit. So.
Sounds like mine.
They're clearly not perfectly straight. But you can skip this. You can.
Yeah. Tracy says, Ruby, I'm telling you, you should link to the tools you use so you can get a profit when we purchase through your links.
How do you do that? I tried to figure it out.
I don't know.
How do I do that? I tried it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Suzanne said her first, I guess, injections, she had no sedation. She said that'll never happen again. See, they're very painful.
Wow.
God bless you. Oh, I can't imagine. I don't know how you put those links in there.
Yeah, because lots of people have their Amazon linked to everything that they purchased.
Yeah, Genevieve does that. You can go to Amazon and pull up Genevieve and all her stuff's out there.
Yes, everything she uses on her videos.
Might have to do a little research on that. That would be wonderful.
These are done, guys. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thanks, Tracy. She said she'll check on it. She's seen others do it. She's going to check on it for you.
Well, thank you very much. Because, yes, I do follow other people's links. Like Genevieve, at one time I was following all her Amazon links. And then I would see if I could purchase them in Canada. And if I could purchase them in Canada, I would go onto my Canadian Amazon.
Yeah.
And she doesn't get anything for that because... I don't know if she does because I go into my own Canadian one.
Yeah.
And because I don't like buying from the U.S. because I have to pay import fees.
Right.
Import fees and taxes. So
yeah, but if you could, each time you do something and you could just link everything you're using, then everybody could just go there instead of, trying to find it each time there's a question. And then, people come in late and we have to try to find it again, which is no problem. I'm not fussing.
No.
But if it was there, we could just say links are at the bottom if you need any of the supplies Ruby's using. That would be awesome.
Right.
It'd be helpful for everybody. Or if they come back and watching it recorded or something, they could just check your links at the bottom.
Right. I agree.
Barry says, that's what you need to do, Ruby. This quilt kit, Debbie says, is this from Jordan Fabrics?
Nope, I'll link it right now. I already linked it once. I'll link it again because
Okay.
I don't think she can go back and look. It's right there, Debbie. The link that you see is the link to this kit. And if you scroll down the page a little bit and look where it says options, under there's check boxes to purchase things to use in this kit. But you have to check off the backing, which is an additional $44, but you get that backing on sale.
The link is farther up in chat. I see it. But I can't move it though.
Yeah, that's the Shabby Fabrics. This kit
Shabby
Fabrics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. You put it in again. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's beginner friendly. Hello, it's beginner friendly. That makes it all that much more better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Nice.
The quilt kit looks like this. It's called Star Garden. It's $94 on sale. If you look at the regular price of it, I think it's $134 regular. So it's on sale for $94.
Dang,
And the backing,
yeah.
yeah, and the backing's on sale for $44, and you get 5 yards of fabric. So you're paying under $10 a yard.
Nice.
To purchase that backing, and that's what I did. So this quilt kit was pretty reasonably cheap, and you get all these pretty fabrics in your kit. All of them.
Oh, that's so pretty. What size does it make?
I figured out how to do it.
For Amazon?
Well, for anything, I think.
How?
It's a place called AdFly, but you have to sign up for them. And then it shortens the URL, and each person who clicks on it, you make some amount of money on it.
Oh, cool. Think Jeff figured out how I have to do that.
Amazon does have one specific to that.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
Oh, how pretty. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That would be awesome if you could do that.
Yes.
And each time you make something, you just throw all your supplies down at the bottom. And people can just click.
Yes. That is a great idea.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you, whoever said that. Was it Mary? Who said that? Mary or Tracy was saying it.
Tracy did.
Tracy. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, Tracy did. And yeah, Mary's like, that's what you need to do. Everybody's like, yes.
You have to get an Amazon Associates account.
Oh, I have to be an Amazon associate account.
Oh, I don't know what that is
Each time
either.
somebody buys something, you get 10%.
Oh, okay. We'll figure that out today then.
Deborah wants to know if you're going to be using a kit for the quilt along.
Nope. No kit. It's just scrap fabrics. Or I may purchase fabrics. I'm really unsure what I'm doing right now. I may use my scrap fabrics, which I really don't want to because I want to make my scrap quilt. But I'm also looking towards buying some fabrics from the Vintage Girl 2. It's called Vintage Girl 2. And that fabric is so beautiful. But the sad thing is, it doesn't have all my colors that I want to make with. Because there's reds. They're all dark colors. So I'm really undecided of how I'm going to approach that. I may use my scraps. I may use some of my fabric. I may go to my fabric store and see if they have, some vintage looking fabrics on sale.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay full price for their cotton. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
Did I ask yesterday for the rag quilts if you could, instead of flannel, if you could do them in fleece? Or is the flannel better?
I don't see why not. My sister uses flannel and cotton.
Oh, she does both?
She does both.
Okay.
She doesn't use fleece, though, because fleece is pretty stretchy. And fleece doesn't fray on the end. So, just so you know that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you need 100% fabric with cotton in it. So flannel is 100% cotton as well. So it frays around the edges beautifully. And I'll show you Jeff's quilt for an example of why you should use. Hang on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get Jeff's quilt.
Yeah, but
Okay, thank you.
Jeff's, it's flannel, cotton square flannel.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Suzanne.
Or like that too.
Oh God, yeah. All of them mostly all were. No, I'm just gonna make a girl doggy bed.
Flannel works better. Okay, thanks, Debbie. I know you can get a lot better patterns in the flannel with kid stuff and all kinds of things. Cooking.
All right. So here's what a rag quilt will look like. Like this. Patsy, give me one of your ones that are not even cut yet, just so I can show them the difference. Like Patsy's working on a rag quilt right now. Oh no, she's making a puppy bed.
Another puppy bed.
So this here, this is cotton and this is flannel. This one's cotton, this one's flannel. So I kind of switched up the fabrics because these were a coordinating fabric. They went with each other. So I used this, then a flannel sheet, then this. So this is what a brand new one looks like, where you see all the ends of her seams are not trimmed yet. And she done pretty small seams. She should have left these at 5/8. These should have been more than half an inch big. She sewed hers together with, you should use a 5/8 seam allowance. That's what will give you this. When you wash it, it turns out just like this.
Okay, let me write it down. 5/8 seam on
So this is what we call rag quilts because there's no quilting to do in this. All you do is make an X with your squares. So you would sew your squares to a backing like this. So the back is completely finished on this quilt. She just has to go along and cut it. But she did use very small seams. She should have sewed much bigger seams here. So you go along, you cut it all up, you wash it, and it turns out just like this in the very first wash.
Okay.
So this is I done his quilt in all of a dark blue flannel background. You can see you sew them all together with the seams out on the right side of the quilt.
Okay.
So it just makes it very soft, and I even signed this quilt. I made this for him.
My mistake.
What mistake?
My quilt.
Behind you. What? What do you mean your mistake? So anyway, you just put, I used a dark blue on you can't really see the X's because I used the navy on the bobbin and I used white on the top.
Okay.
And I went through all of them. You put an X, you put two pieces together with wrong sides together. Now that's one really strange way to quilt, but you put the wrong sides together so that the pretty side's facing out and the pretty side's facing up. And then you would sew all your pieces together in rows, and then you would sew the rows together, and then you would go along and snip all these. Just snip it, but don't cut your stitching line. If you cut your stitching line, you have to restitch it there, and it does happen. So, trying to find right here. I did his quilt, and I put that in there. It says, "My Jeff, love Ruby, September 27th, 2012." So that was his birthday. So that's and our wedding anniversary. That's the day we got married. Was September 27th, 2012. So this is his quilt, and it's not even big enough for him really because he's a tall person. But you can use anything in these quilts. You can use any kind of cotton designs. Like we fussy cut these deers out. Me and Patsy fussy cutted these out of this fabric that we bought. In fact, I still have some of it.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and I just fussy cut my deers out. out of cotton, right out of cotton fabrics. So the crazy quilts, they call those crazy quilts. They call them rag quilts.
Yeah.
Do you recommend using a battery?
Batting.
Oh,
Oops.
if
Oh, I
you
didn't
want,
see that.
okay, for that particular quilt, when we first started making them, they told you to put a batting in between. So what we did was you put a layer of flannel, there's your back. Then we put a piece of white flannel in the middle, and then we put our flannel on top. So it was 3 layers on every single
Ah.
square. The only thing is it's very heavy and it's very warm. But you can do that. You can put a white flannel,
If you want
you can put batting, but you would have to cut your batting. See, the reason we used the white flannel was because when we cut them, the white flannel frayed in between the two colors, so it looked so cool. But we got to a point where we just stopped putting the white in the middles because it was just getting way too big and heavy on the sewing machine. So we stopped
okay.
doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what Patsy still makes. Like, she makes a lot of quilts. And she'll just
Okay.
sit one night. She'll sit one night and she will trim all of those quilts. She's got 3 of them already made. She just has to trim them
Wow.
all up.
Just snip them. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's
So
just
they
going
go
to
pretty
sit and
quick.
snip
That's
them.
good.
And then you throw them in the wash machine. I would take them to the laundromat because...
Yeah, but you gotta pay for one washer.
One washer, yeah. I would take it to a laundromat because it makes a hell of a mess with the threads. All those frayed things, they end up in your washing machine. Yeah.
Gotta use.
But just for that first wash, then you're okay, right?
No, it still frays a few more times. Like Jeff's has been washed so many times now it barely frays anymore.
Yeah,
Like you
okay.
barely see any threads on his.
Okay.
About the special scissors to use.
Yeah, and you got to use special scissors that cut right to the tips. And we bought, mine are put away though. We bought special scissors for cutting that you just squeeze. They're not normal scissors, ones you just squeeze.
Okay.
Yeah. And those cut really, really good. Really, really good. But yeah, they're easy to make. Rag quilts are super easy to make, and they're a lot of fun because you can put as many as you like in a row. My sister puts 8 across, 12 down. So 8 blocks across at 6-inch blocks. She'd put 8 across and 12 down. These are the scissors that she does. These are what she uses to snip all those little pieces. And these are really, really good ergonomic scissors. They wouldn't hurt your hands as much as using a pair of scissors. So you just buy yourself a really good pair of sharp, pointy scissors like that. And then you,
These are from Friskus.
they're Fiskars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are Fiskars scissors. They have all kinds of them like that now. Where you can just squeeze them. Because if you were to do that with a pair of scissors, it hurts your hand.
Oh, yeah, it would.
Yes. Yep, it sure does.
Okay, yeah.
Just 1 pack of 2 chicken breasts or 2?
1. Are they boneless and skinless, Jeff?
Coco, why are you not sitting with me? Rat. Come here. Why are you teaching me a lesson? Okay.
But yeah, and you know what? A rag quilt is a great beginner quilt as well because you can make it as big as you want. As many squares as you want. Different size squares. You don't have to use 6-inch. You can use a 7-inch square. Make it bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to use a 6-inch. Some people use 6, some use 5, some use 8-inch.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
But when you realize, you see what size a 6-inch square will turn is the size I made of Jeff's. So that's the size your squares will end up being when you sew half-inch seams, right?
Yeah.
You should sew a little more than half an inch because then you have a lot to fray when you wash it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you won't run the risk of cutting into your seam either when you're snipping all the ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it'd be a lot harder to do with a tiny seam.
Yeah, but Patsy can do that. She'll just sit and she'll snip all them with just little slits. It'll still be exactly like Jeff's.
Yeah.
Fluffy and raggedy looking. It's just, they're so pretty. We made tons and tons of those. We did. We made tons of them. And then
Yeah, if I make them.
I got into the piecing part where I loved piecing quilt pieces, and I started making a bunch of quilts. And Patsy still continued on with her rag quilts, and I just started making ones where I had to do piecing and binding, and that was a challenge because when I first started, I tried to do a binding on a table runner for a lady, an older lady, and boy, did I muck up her beautiful table runner. I was not experienced. And I was trying to help her because she's elderly. So I was trying to be nice and help her, but oh my God, I didn't know what I was doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then yeah, you can easily wreck your project.
Yeah.
Yeah. The binding, my problem was mitering those corners. That's what I just could not get sunk in my head. Like,
Oh, yeah, those corners can be tough.
And I watched videos and I'm like, well, mine isn't turning out like their videos, you know? What am I doing wrong? Hi, Martha. Feeling any better
Good
today,
morning, Martha?
So, yeah.
Mary says, so my 5-year-old granddaughter's supposed to come over today and make a dolly blanket. Then he tells me we'll be over around noon because she's been throwing up all night. Oh, no, you're not. I don't blame you.
Oh, God,
why would you do that if she's sick? Oh.
Yeah, she probably just had like the 24-hour flu because that's going around too.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I catch everything from my grandkids.
Yeah. Yeah, when they're in school and daycares and stuff, they carry stuff around.
Yep.
Especially with the weather flip-flopping from hot to cold.
Yeah, right?
You don't know how to dress, you know.
Exactly.
Poor things either get too bundled up or they weren't bundled up enough and then they get sick.
Yeah, but a cold isn't caught from outside. And that's a myth.
Well, that's true, too.
Cold is a virus in the air, which means you've been in contact with somebody that had the virus, that you didn't wash your hands or something stupid like that, and you catch it. Or you even breathe it in because they're sitting there coughing their heads off wherever you are.
Right.
Without covering their mouths. They're just spreading the germs.
Yeah.
When I went to the doctor's last time, there were so many people in there coughing, I had to go put on a mask just so I didn't breathe in that.
I don't blame you.
Nope. I mean, I looked like an idiot sitting there with the mask on my face, but I don't care.
Hey, I wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care
either.
I don't care
I don't
either.
want anything more than what I got.
Yep. So then I finally got fed up of wearing the mask, so I went and stood in the hallway till the doctor called my name. Because I couldn't stand that mask on my face. So I just said, okay, I'll just go wait out here where nobody is. And then I took the mask off. But I kept going over to that machine. The dispenser that gives you hand sanitizer. I just kept spreading that all over my face and my hands. I was like, yeah, I don't want whatever you people got in here.
No way.
Yes. So
I'm here to get something taken care of, not to pick up something.
Get sick. Yeah. It's like, thanks, but I'll pass on all that.
Yeah. Yeah, Mary says that coronavirus is scary to her.
Yes, it is scary.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So that's why I stayed away. I don't know if any of these people came in contact with people that came back from China or
Right, you
Hong
don't
Kong
know.
or Wuhan or wherever it is. Yeah, no thank you. Better to be safe than sorry. So I just wore a mask.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept on with that sanitizer and I kept spreading it all over my face because I figured, yeah, I'm sitting there. And I said, the germs are landing on my face and then I'm going to touch my face with my hands. And then I'm going to catch whatever they're got. So, no thank you.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
So, yeah.
Martha, is your cold better?
I asked
Did
her if she
she?
was feeling better.
Yeah, I don't think she
She didn't
answered. No.
respond. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Not yet. Martha says, cough, cough.
Oh.
And she's still coughing her head off, I guess.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Be careful. Don't get, what is it? Bronchitis or one of those things.
Yep.
Or pneumonia.
All right. I am done ironing all my half square triangles. This pile feels bigger and they should be exact same size. All right. So next I have to sew one in each corner. So fabric B goes in all the corners of the big squares. Okay. And then
Martha says she's woke up every hour from 6 a.m. Aw.
wait, that's wrong.
Good morning, Pamela.
Flying geese. All right, so the flying geese are these pieces with C pieces. All right. So I have to sew these to those. Oh my God, this is so pretty. So C to those, and then we have to sew. To sew these, which are B. That one's got a fold in it. I don't know why. So we have to sew these to these. So that's a lot of sewing still we have to do. We have to make flying geese units. And snowball those corners. Alright. So I'm just gonna put this on iron away. Turn it off for now because I don't need it. I grab my sewing machine. All right.
Oh, shoot, it's snowing.
All right, I need my extender table because I got a lot of sewing on points to do. Which is with my clearly perfect, or no, clearly perfect angles. get this to adhere. There we go. Because I have to do a lot of diagonals. And I need tape. So tape to hold this down on the corner here. And I want to hold it down there. I don't find it stays all that well. Because it's well used. I gotta adjust my legs on this stand here. Down. Bring this one up a bit. That's not even. And that one's good. Alright, so all my feet, except for right there. This one here. Oops. You can adjust all your feet on these extender tables to fit. Alright, so we're going to start with our flying geese units. So this will be these. Now, on a normal basis, and Holly put her face close to my head. Oh boy, Ruby, I have so much material and bolts of material. I'm going to just start cutting square and hope for the best. Really, Debbie? I wish I had a lot of material, but I don't have a lot of fabric. I really don't. So, these have to go on top of each other like that in the corners. So am I sewing this way? So from here to here, right? Yeah, okay. So now I'm just going to put this, line this up with my needle, line the point up, and I'm going to line up this very tip with my center line here. That's on this clearly perfect angle marker. So you just line it up there, and sew away. And then we're just going to go along and do one corner on each of these. Then we'll press those open, and then we'll just put the other one on, and that's what you call a flying geese unit. Is basically
I'll be right back, Ruby.
Snowballing both corners. So I'm gonna move these out of the way for now. So I have somewhere, I have like a little table here to work with. When I put my extender table on, I love it. It gives me something to work off of. Okay, Kath. And one good thing about this does not have, Oh shoot, that was really off. My fabric moved on me. Oh my god, I'm sewing this on a 2 and 3. Oh my god. Wow, that's pretty big stitches. I think I'm going to re-sew these. The stitches are way too big. I had it on 3. Okay, so this one here shifted on me, and you don't want to leave it like that because it shifted way over on the other side of the point. That's one thing I hate about that, is it does shift. So you got to really hold it. So that is much better stitching. Like it. Did you put someone in timeout again, Martha? No, Deborah would have retracted her own message. I have one of those in my Amazon cart. It's called Quilt in a Day. 3,000 sew straight. Oh! Whoopsies. Flip it over. Put it right sides together. It does sew straight, and it does work, I'll tell you. This saves you a lot of time that you don't have to go and sit and mark all the backs of these with a line so you can sew on sew on the straight line. This just prevents all of that extra work. Because if I could skip corners, I skip corners. If I could take shortcuts, I take shortcuts. And this takes a lot of flying geese units. I forget how many of these pieces I cut. So the purples that I'm doing now will be double compared to this stack. So you just keep going along and chain sew all your pieces together. I'm making chicken soup for supper, Pats.
Yeah.
Yep, with tortellini.
You buy them at Walmart?
No.
Tortellini, you're only $5.
Yeah, No Frills has the same thing. That's where we get them. And we freeze them.
Yeah.
I always freeze those noodles. And they turn out beautiful.
You got one with chicken and bacon.
Oh, I've never seen that. Did that material come pre-cut, Ruby? No, Tracy, it didn't, hon. I cut all this out the other day. I did it on my live video. I was gonna cut. Which reminds me, I need to go change the name of my title. Because on that day, I was going to start my Bloomtopia quilt. And I have to go through the pattern and figure out how they cut all of that. Anyway, it ended up being a disaster. I didn't get it cut. So I went on to this quilt. And all your fabrics came really nice for you. And the pattern layout, or to cut all this out, was super easy. And I cut 7 to, no, 7. I cut anywhere from 8 to 16 layers at a time. I don't just cut 2 or 4 pieces because I have the strength in my hand to do that with, especially with the ergonomic ones. They are awesome. But yeah, I had to pre-cut. I had to cut all of this. Sure did. And you may have to do a bit of trimming on your flying geese units because they may not be exactly perfect 100%. You may have to do a wee bit of trimming. So oopsies, picked up 2 here. You know what, too, Trace? Honestly, hon, I don't mind. I honestly don't mind cutting all my fabric out. I don't mind that at all. I find it actually very relaxing. I find it really relaxing, especially if the pattern is easy to follow. So this one here for the cutting instructions, you cannot get any more simpler than this. I can't show you the measurements, but all the cutting here is right on these 2 columns. You can't go wrong with it. It tells you, it shows you a picture what color one is fabric A, which one's B, which one's C, which one's D, and all that. It's really easy to do. So what I do is I'll take, watch, I will put this in here like this, line this right up with the side here and up here. I'll put this right up on my needle and I'll put this very, very tip, just tip of it beside my needle because my needle's down. I'll take 1 stitch, then I'll line it up over here on my line and continue sewing. And that's how you get it perfect. It's just barely on the side of the needle there. And it works out every time. So I'll just line this up, take a stitch, line it up here in the center, and then sew away. For chain piecing, it's a lot easier if you keep your needle down, especially when you're doing these things. Because the little tiny points like to get caught in your feed dogs, and then you're sitting there pounding your needle up and down on it. Ruby, is there a name for what you're sewing? Yes, these are called flying geese units. I use a go cutter because of carpal tunnel syndrome. If I have to cut a lot. Oh yes, relaxing, and oddly I like the sound of sharp scissors. No, that's Tracy, I love the sound of sharp scissors cutting fabric. I even like the sound of the rotary cutter cutting through fabric. But yeah, Martha, these are called flying geese units. So you're basically going to snowball both corners and make yourself, it's called a flying geese. This pattern has been around for many, many years. In fact, it's even in the farmer's wife quilt. So they've been around for a long, long time. But this is how you make flying geese. Normally you would draw a line if you don't have this center thing. You can also use a piece of tape Okay, you don't have to get this. But I like this because it also makes half square triangles where I don't have to put a line down on the pieces. I could just sew a 1/4 of an inch on this side, 1/4 of an inch on that side. And this here does that for you too. This also gives you your 1/4 inch marks as well. So even if you're sewing 1/4 of an inch and you don't have a 1/4 inch foot pedal, you can use this as your guide, because your 1/4 inch mark is this one right here. See this? There's this solid piece in the middle here. Let me bring my camera up closer. And then I can explain it a little bit better. All right. Okay, so for like this, you see this part here? I am following this middle line right now. So I am lining up my triangles on this center line here. But if you're making half square triangles, or if you need a 1/4 inch seam, just follow this line here, and there your needle line is here. That's where your needle is. You follow this line here, that gives you an exact 1/4 of an inch. So if you don't even have a 1/4 inch foot, you can use this because it goes all the way down here. So when I'm lining up my half square triangle, hopefully you can see this. Yep, you can. When I'm lining up my half square triangle, I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to put my half square triangle with the needle. I'm going to put my foot pedal down. My point here has to line up with the very middle line here. This one here. So this came out. I'm going to take an anchoring stitch. Okay, there's my anchoring stitches. It's into the fabric. Now I will turn, don't start sewing it and then move it. Don't do that. Take your anchoring stitches, line it up here, and then just continue straight down. If you follow this line with your point, look at that. It's going to give you a perfect line. Right like that. Show you again. So from corner to corner, you're going to put the tip of your thing right by that needle, take an anchoring stitch or two, and then line this up, and then continue to hold it on here, but don't stretch it, because this is all bias here. So don't stretch it, just guide it so it stays nice and straight. Like that. Easy peasy. Then you get a perfect line down your half square triangle. So that's how that's done. Super easy. And this thing is super awesome to have. See, I'll take an anchoring stitch, line this all up, sew away. Anchor stitch, line all these pieces up. Oops. Well, that looks pretty straight to me. I haven't actually gotten to use most of the sewing equipment I have gotten since Mom moved in with us, because she was so sick for so long. But now we are getting back into it. Oh, that's great. Sorry about your mom. I'm glad she's feeling better. Oops. I stepped on the pedal backwards. I want to keep these all joined. Oh my gosh. My foot pedal's getting too far away again. When I do that, my foot pedal's taking off, and it is. No matter what method I use, I cannot get my foot pedal to stay straight and in the same spot all the time. It just moves and moves and moves. Oopsies. But you can use a piece of tape. If you don't have this thing, just use a piece of masking tape. You're going to line that masking tape up with your needle right here. You're going to put the masking tape there, and you're going to stretch it out and make sure you keep it straight. I would put a ruler on this side, like this, of your needle. And then I would go along here. Sorry, not on this side of your needle. Right here where your needle is. Put the ruler there so you can put your piece of tape on really straight right here, because it's very important that you keep your tape straight here. And if you don't keep your tape straight, it turns out wonky. So, Ruby, my mom heard you call me Trace. She smiled and said, that is what she calls me. Okay, Trace. Did I say Trace? Heard you call me Trace. Oh, okay. Yes, I did say Trace. I guess I get to call you Trace. Hey.
I'm back.
Hey.
Hey.
Welcome back. Hey.
Hey.
Martha, why aren't you coming in chat? You can mute if you have to cough. You could still talk to us. Or are you not allowed to talk? It's not hard to mute if you have to hack your brains off.
What's going on? Suzanne wants to know if you sew with a bare foot.
Nope. I have my slippers on.
Oh, look at me. Barefoot.
Patsy's barefoot.
I do sometimes.
I never sew barefoot. I always have my slippers on.
I get a better feel.
It's probably my slippers that keep knocking my foot pedal. I've put, you know that shelf liner stuff? I put that down underneath. I put 4 or 5 pieces of sticky Velcro, and it just moves. It just doesn't want to stay placed. Because I don't have carpet. And even then, when my sister had carpet in her house, our foot pedals still moved on the carpet. Remember that?
Hot glue it to the ground.
Yeah, that's basically what I have to do is hot glue it. I use Gorilla Glue. Yeah, but I don't want it to be permanent there, though. And I don't want to ruin my flooring in here. I'm a barefooter always.
Yeah, me too.
But I have... Oh, LOL, enough about me now. Okay, boss. Okay, Trace. Enough about Trace. Guys, enough about Trace.
I hate socks and I hate shoes.
Oh, I hate socks. I don't wear socks. I cannot... Nothing worse than having hot feet. Oh, my God. So socks and slippers to me just don't go hand in hand when you're my age.
I try to wear my sandals as long as I can in the fall. And the redneck. Aren't your feet?
Oh, I do. I've gone out on few occasions this fall. It was in December. We already had snow, and I wore my sandals. Remember? I wore them to my craft fair, and it was snowing. You know, you wear a winter coat and sandals. That makes lots of sense.
Hey.
That's what you call a real redneck.
Redneck. Patsy, you going out in your sandals? I go, yeah. Aren't you going to put anything warm on your feet? I went, oh, okay, wait a minute. So I grabbed the red pair. I said, oh, yeah, these are the warm ones.
The warmer sandals?
Yes. Another color.
No such thing, Patsy.
No, I know.
Yeah, that's funny. How many of you had to run to the store and ran with your slippers on your feet? Because I've done that. I have rug backing under it, Suzanne. It's still moving. I even Velcroed the rug backing to my floor.
Just because of all that.
I might have a solution. I think I might put score tape. And score tape that rug backing down instead of using Velcros. Yes, I think that's what I'm going to do. Because my foot pedal is just not staying put. And I've got Velcro, and I'm going to take the Velcro off. See? I have this stuff underneath my foot pedal. And it doesn't stay put. I have to put score tape
Yeah,
down.
I'm just thinking, you know what you need to do?
Oh my God, look at all of... I have to remove these.
See that
All
wide
these.
See that wide board on your thing there Jeff has? Your ladder?
Yeah,
Push it up against the wall and push your pedal against it.
it doesn't work.
If
Oh, no, you can't do that because it interferes with the top of the foot pedal. I tried that. Yeah, you can't do that.
Well, drill a hole in your floor. Sit it in there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, Coco, I don't know who's got more of the chair, you or me.
All right.
Okay, I'm getting hot-headed.
So this is all the pieces of Velcro that I had holding that down. And it just ripped the backing, came right off of it. So,
You find it hot?
yes. I'm going to try score tape.
Oh, nice. Can you feel it?
Let me see what's in here.
We're telling you to quit being a lead foot, Ruby.
I'm going to try score tape.
Ruby,
What?
take a cleaner and wipe it all off. So
I'm going to.
What do you need?
I need a wet one.
Wet one.
Yeah, baby wet. I'm going to try score tape. Okay, watch out.
Coco?
Okay, I'll let that
Wipe
dry.
the bottom of your...
No,
wipe
it's
the
not
bottom
with
of
the
that.
part.
Eh?
That's not the part. Coco! I'll be right back, guys. Look what I'm going to do. Score tape this to the floor. And pray this will keep it from moving. Not sure how good it's going to work, but you don't need no more baby wipes now. I hope this works. It'll probably work for a little while and then it won't work anymore. So
I hate that when it takes my
yes,
tongue might been okay.
yeah, yours has been staying. Mine
That's
not.
because I'm barefoot. I can feel it.
Hmm.
If you take your slipper off and push on it, you'll feel the difference.
Yeah, I'm not taking my slipper off though.
No, just while you sit there.
Oh,
See what
well there, I score taped it. Really good. Let's hope it works.
See what I do? I wear my slippers, but I just take this one off.
Oh, that's a good idea, Debbie.
What?
Yeah, that's carpet backing. She said to use, you know, the rubber mats that you put in your bathtub and it suctions to the tub.
Yeah.
She said to put one on the floor and put your foot pedal, it'll suction to the floor. That's a good idea
That's
too.
too easy.
Yeah, that was too easy.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm just waiting for my floor to dry here because I just washed it because it had some pieces of fabric down and
I might have to go back on these.
threads. I gotta go potty. I'll be right back.
You got A5, 3.5, whatever.
Yes, I do.
Oh my goodness.
because Patsy would do that. All right, I let my doggy out for a little bit. She's a little fuss puss. All right, let's see if this works. Or if I'm just wasting my time. Ah. Come on. I need to sit down. That's good and dry. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to peel this. Backing off. Like, seriously? Move this stuff. Where's my pokey tool?
Did you put it down yet?
No.
Oh.
I'm still debating. Trying to take this backing off. There we go. That one's off. It's really hard because this is cushiony. It's hard to get the backing off. There. Oh my gosh. Just poking holes in it. There we go. Let me try on here. I hope this works for a little while and it comes off my floor. This score tape. It will with Goo Gone. That I know for sure it will.
It'll come off. I've dropped pieces on my hardwood floor and it just peels up.
Okay, well that's good to know. All right, so I'm almost going to get right about there. Okie dokie. Okay, let's see how good that works for the time being. Very good. That's a handy dandy pokey tool. Hi. Alright, I'm almost done these. Well, one side. I should turn my iron on. Pardon me. Okay. Oh. I don't even feel it moving. My thing. Uh-oh. I lost my picture. What happened?
What picture?
I lost my picture. I have no picture.
Uh-oh. On your screen?
Yes.
Oh, I still see you. I don't know what you did. Did you hit a cord or something?
I don't know what happened.
Oh, you're gone.
What happened? I don't even know how to bring it back up.
She's gone. Does anybody hear me? think we lost everything.
No pick. I know, Martha. I don't know how to fix it. Screen is black. I really and truly do not know what happened. Oh my God. I don't know what happened, guys. Do I have a picture now? Oh, jeez. What happened? How did I lose my video capture device? But now I've got it. Oh my God. I really don't know how to fix this. I don't want them black boxes. Okay, is there black stripes on each side of my video? What?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't want the black box. Okay, they're black red box, not like you know. What? I don't want the black box.
I don't see a black box. But my screen is frozen. Okay, yeah, it's frozen. It's not working. I have to start a new one. I don't know why this thing does this shit. I just don't get it.